everyone, this is Mr. Wu again, and I'm sorry I haven't made a video in quite a while. I bought a new laptop, so I've just been transferring like gigabytes of data over to that, and I'm actually making this video on my new laptop right now. So everything should be smooth, there should be no lag on Guild Wars or this video. If you notice anything wrong, please let me know and I'll fix it. So before I get started into the main topic that I wanted to talk about, what you're watching here now is some Guild Wars gameplay that I did earlier. It's of what was the quest? It was Curse of Nornbear, I think. But here I'm just going through all my stats, my skills, and stuff like that. You see my build there that I use. The heroes, nothing special about the heroes builds or anything. I'm at, I think it's Sif Halla in Isle North. This is just circling around. You haven't been here before. Isle North is a really nicely designed map area. You can tell how much they've improved since the first Guild Wars just looking at this. But oh yeah, those are the weapons. I think it's Gilded Daggers of Fortitude, something Gilded Daggers of Fortitude. It's very difficult to see on the Sony Vega screen. Hopefully the audio of the game itself, because I recorded that, hopefully that isn't too loud or too quiet. But it might take me a while to get that right. Yeah, I was right. Curse of the Nornbear. I think you had to track down. Yeah, this was the quest of. I had to track down the Jorah's brother, who's been cursed. Wasn't too hard of a quest. It's actually quite easy, especially at this stage of Isle North. We're still fairly near the beginning. It's not until you get to the Dwarven quests, and I think these Zoran quests are very difficult. But yeah, I'm running on using my what's it called again? I keep wanting to say thief for Guild Wars 2, assassin, that's all, which is pretty much the equivalent of the thief in Guild Wars 2. Pretty much the sort of same idea, just sort of I suppose in a different context. But onto the main topic. Now, there has been anyway in the past a lot of debate on the last profession of Guild Wars 2, but to be honest, in my opinion, I think it's pretty much sorted, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. As you guys know, if you've been following it, or if you have any interest in Guild Wars 2, you know there's been the classic warrior announced ages and ages ago. You got the classic elementalist, you got the classic ranger, which I will be. You got the classic necromancer, and then like I mentioned before, you got the thief. You've also got the Guardian, and of course the Engineer. Now the 8th profession, which they haven't yet officially announced, is going to be a spellcaster type. Just looking at numbers, you can see the difference between the more attacking, physical attacking professions and the spellcasting ones. So far you've got the Elementalist and the Necromancer, which are both pretty simple. Well, I wouldn't say simple, but they're both well known, from the original Guild Wars and stuff like that. And of course, well, in my opinion, one of the probably least used professions in Guild Wars 1, I think will be making a return in Guild Wars 2. They pretty much narrowed it down themselves. I believe there was a sort of an official statement saying that the last profession would be a returning profession from Guild Wars 1. The returning profession. So one of the professions that was in Guild Wars 1 is coming back in Guild Wars 2 in some form or another. But they also said before, if you sort of link these 2 points together, that the professions from any of the Guild Wars, how can I say, expansions, even though they're not exactly expansions, so any of the professions from Guild Wars factions and Nightfall aren't coming back. So there's not going to be an assassin that was in factions, because that's coming back as a thief. There's not going to be a ritualist, because in a sort of technical way, that's coming back as an engineer. So there's no ritualist, and there's also no dervish and no paragon that was in Nightfall. I know the paragon's sort of been integrated with the Guardian, and I suppose the dervish is probably been, its skills and the idea of it probably integrated with the the more physical professions, such as the warrior, guardian, whatever. So those two statements, if you add those up, it's a returning profession, but it's not one from the expansions. It means it's one from the core professions, the ones that was in the first Guild Wars Prophecies. And if you look at the ones they've already announced, the warrior, ranger, elementalist, necromancer, those 4 have already been announced to be returning Guild Wars 2. And since they've said that it's a returning profession, I'm pretty sure it's a Mesmer. The Mesmer is quite unique in Guild Wars 1, in my opinion anyway. I think it was a very unique profession in the game. In other MMORPGs, you don't really get a profession like that. A sort of a debuff sort of profession, where the skills were all towards, I wouldn't say slowly, but you could sort of say indirectly lowering, opponent's health, skills, energy, so on, things like that. Rather than doing any sort of direct, fire mage, magic, or hitting them with a huge hammer like a warrior would, or shooting arrows at them. It's quite a unique profession, and I think the guys at Guild Wars are quite, you could say, proud at this Mesmer profession, that they created it in this way. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be that, as well as thinking, it's a returning spellcaster. It all makes sense that it's a Mesmer. I don't know why they're taking so long to officially announce it. I'm not sure if it'll be called a Mesmer, but I reckon it'll be something of that type. I could be completely wrong here, but I'm fairly sure. They may call it something else, much like what they've done with the assassin. They changed that to the thief, and changed a few aspects of it. But I think the Mesmer will be definitely the returning profession in terms of just the core of it. Obviously, some skills won't be similar from the Mesmer skills we've seen in Guild Wars 1. Just like you've seen some returning skills in the other professions, like if you watch Warrior footage, you see loads of skills that you might recognise from Guild Wars 1. And perhaps some Ranger, from the Ranger, you'll see some returning skills in that. So yeah, I'm quite excited for them to announce it, because hopefully it means when they've announced it, it's getting close to release time. I reckon they're saving this as their last, their last push, their last bit of big hype information before they announce the release date. So when this profession's announced, I'd say that either during that time or shortly after they'll announce the release date. That's what I'm hoping anyway, because we've been waiting for a long time. But release date's another discussion. Perhaps in my next video I'll talk about the release date. But there was some talk about a profession which wasn't like the Mesmer. It was a type of spellcaster, but the spells were very, very different. And I think it was just like a concept, if anything. It wasn't really explored or designed. I remember it being rumoured to be a profession of another Guild Wars expansion called Utopia, I think. They cancelled that, obviously, because they're making Guild Wars 2. But after Eye the North was released, there was some talk about a Guild Wars Utopia expansion, and apparently there was a new profession in that called I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure you can find it yourself if you really want to know, but because it's been cancelled, it's probably not of any use to you. Is it Chromancer or something? That was a spellcaster type that could control aspects of time and things like that. I wasn't quite sure, to be honest. But that I thought could have been, some of those ideas could have been integrated into Guild Wars 2, and I was thinking that would be profession. But now I don't think so. I'm pretty certain that now it's a Mesmer. Back to the quest here. I made a mistake. I should be using that. I think it's the wolf, transformation. Yeah, I did figure it out. I went all this way killing all these monsters. I should have turned went the other way, but I do work this out later on, and I do complete the quest, nice and easily without dying or anything. It's been years since I last played this quest, on my Dervish, and so I think I'm a hunter as well, my ranger. So I just had no idea what to do. but I did figure it out. You have to use that, and then you use transformation, and then use one of the wolf skills that leads you to follow the Norm Bear, the cursed Norm Bear. But yeah, apart from that, guys, this has been Mr. here. Hope you like my redesign intros and stuff, and my channel. Please check out my channel background. Tell me what you think. So yeah, this has been Mr. here. See you guys later.